What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. And if you're an old moldy hat like this one, welcome back. Today we are doing something super special. Today we're finding gold to go into 2 wedding rings. A short time ago, a subscriber of mine named Ben, this video is for you, got in contact with me about finding some gold from the northeast of Victoria to have in their wedding bands. Luckily, I don't have to find all of the gold to go into the wedding rings because I don't have enough time. We're on a very tight schedule, which means that today is the only day I can do it. I'm hoping to get maybe a quarter gram, and if I can get a quarter gram's worth of gold, that means I'll have at least a little bit of the northeast of Victoria in their wedding bands. This is the spot that I chose. It is a little inside bend. You can see where I've taken my test pan out, and that test pan yielded me quite a good bit of gold. 1 pan for all of that. Because when you're high banking, you don't worry about your per pan spec rate, you worry about your per shovel spec rate. So all that gold is from 1 shovel's worth of dirt. And the reason we do that is to know that when we count shovels, we can roughly estimate how many specks of gold have gone through the sluice. If we're getting 10 specks per shovel, we run 100 shovels, we can expect 1,000 pieces of fine gold. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe this is worth high banking. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, probably 20 plus specks per shovel. So I'm going to try and find 100 shovels worth of that pay dirt in there. I hope that's right. 100 shovels works out to be roughly 33% of 1 cubic meters worth of dirt. So that helps you extrapolate it to the larger picture. If you ran 1 yard, 1 cubic meter of dirt, that's how much gold you would get. So we know we're going to get 33% of it moved if there's that many shovels there. Now all we're going to do is get the sluice set up. We've already done about 15 shovels, and we have got a little bit of gold in the mat. We've got some just here and some just here, which is a really good start for such a small shovel run. But what I'm really interested in is this. This is a quartz reef cutting across the creek, and I've just followed it up into the bank. Now around here there's no river gravels. This is it here. And as my shovel goes through, I can feel it breaking up quartz and mineralized ground. When it comes out, it's very mineralized. That's why we've got these really dark reds and oranges in here. So I want to take a test pan of this dirt that I'm breaking off my shovel. It's solid bedrock, there's no river gravels in it. I want to see if there's any gold in it, because if there is, it's an indicator that this quartz reef is bearing gold. Which would explain why in my test pans I got really good gold from here and not so good gold from here. And they're only like a meter apart, which means that this could be gold bearing, and why I'm getting gold downstream and not upstream. There's definitely gold in that dirt, and that dirt was solid when I broke it off. The other thing to be mindful of in creeks with a soft sedimentary base is that quartz reefs are often much harder than the surrounding bedrock, and that means they stick up and out of the creek. So you'll come along a flat creek and then there'll be sort of a speed bump of quartz or an outcropping, a reef outcropping, and then it will go back to flat. And either side of that is a really good spot to check for gold, either on the upstream or downstream side. Yabby pump them, break them up, smash into them a little bit, because what happens is the bedrock erodes explodes hard up against the quartz and down, and that means that the gold falls in and gets trapped down against hard bedrock that's not moving anywhere. Alright, some developments. Grizzly, would you like to tell the people where we're at on today's mining, seeing as you're the mine boss? This is where I took all of that reef dirt out. I've gone down about 1.5 inches into solid bedrock using my pick, and I can't get any more of it. There's really, really fine gold on it, super fine gold, and lots of it, but it's very hard to break up. I pushed all of this dirt through the sluice, and I've around 50 shovels for the total of this. In here, I've run out of good pay. It's gone from about 20 to 30 specs per shovel down to about 5. It's not really worth continuing going that way according to my test pans. So I looked over here. This is that reef, that mound that I was talking about earlier, and I took the test pan out of here. I got lots of heavies and about 15 specs for one shovel, which indicates to me that this little section here in the creek and then this part of the bank hard up against where my battery is probably where the pay is going. So we've got to cut this out. Grizzly doesn't bark for no reason, which means that there's someone out there, someone over there. I know that's all private property, so it's probably a property owner. Been plodding away here. We're probably up to about 75 shovels worth of dirt, and I took the miner's moss out to do a test pan to see how we were going. Now, for the most part, the miner's moss in this high banker that I added to it is not to capture gold. It is to slow the water rate down and to slow the gravel down so it has a chance to stratify and let the gold fall out of suspension. So we're never going to catch terribly much in that top plate, but what it's doing is making sure that whatever it does pass through that sluice mat is already on the bottom. And this is what was in it. Not a bad little amount of gold. That is a nice little chunk of gold. And I know a lot of you guys are going to be talking about the tailings, the coarse tailings at the back here, and me having to push them off the back. Well, increasing the back of this box to a very steep angle levels this box out a little bit, and that's why I'm having to push it off. When you have it set to the 9-degree angle it's meant to, the rocks do come off the back. It's about 25 shovels later, and I cannot find the bottom of this reef that's cutting across the creek. It's just bottomless. The water's now over the top of my gumboot. Like, I can't go any deeper by putting a foot on the top of the shovel. Not possible. It's a hole to nowhere. I've only got a little bit of time left, so I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to dig like hell. I'm going to try and get to the bottom of this. I haven't hit any clay yet. That means I'm still in that loose gravelly stuff on the way down. There's gold the whole way down, so if I can get to the bottom, it'll be a winner, and that's going to be my goal. Well, as much as I want to finish that hole, I'm going to call it a day. I am knackered. I've probably done 90 to 110 shovels, somewhere within that. I lost count. It happens. First clean out is going to be of the river sluice extension. I almost always guarantee that there is going to be the very, very fine flood gold in this sluice. As expected, lots of fine gold. That there is the biggest bit, and then most of that is absolutely tiny, which is acceptable considering how many shovels we did. We probably lost less than 1 test pan's worth of gold from the start. Big boy time. This is the concentrates. Have a look at some of the color just poking its head out here. We'll zoom in a bit. We've got some nice bits of gold up there. We've got a ton of micro specks just running through here as well. So maybe a good cleanup, maybe not. Ooh, look at that bit. Oh yeah, he's a nice little bit. Well, I got good news and I've got okay news. The good news is we found gold. The okay news is not as much as I was hoping for. What we got today was probably about a 0.1. I'll put that up, whatever we actually got, somewhere down here, and I'll round up the total amount of gold that we are going to give them to 1/4 grams to make sure that they've got some of that beautiful northeast gold wrapped around their fingers so they can feel at home anywhere in the world. By the looks of my sleeping boy's face, I think that's about all we've got time for. In the very near future, I'm going to have some merch available for sale. That's right, Grizzly, merch. There'll be more details on this to come. It will be through a drop shipping service, so you're not going to have to worry about me getting off my butt to go to the post office and actually get it to you, which is, I think, a bonus. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this adventure as much as I had making it. I can't wait to give this gold to this couple because, you know, it's such a special thing. And I know that those wedding rings are going to have gold that I found out here in the northeast of Victoria. If you haven't already, guys, please check out the rest of my channel because there's a few videos out there that might just increase your gold fever enough to convince you to get out onto a creek or order some pay dirt. And from me and Grizzly Dog, who's taking a sweet, delicious nap down here, peace, we're out.